vaccinations,
Right.
especially because they're life-saving. Why would you be saving people for heaven if you're not saving them for life today here on earth?
Which is
anyway, so I digress.
No. From first of all, from your lips to my ears.
Yes.
Because also, do you know what? At the beginning of the last hour, and even us as men, we've got to do more. And
Yes.
you're looking for champions.
Yes.
And like I said, from your lips to my ears, and people are listening. I've given you my number.
Yes.
Use that number, and as we set the stage at the beginning of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you have asked of me to do, that will be done.
Fantastic. Amen to that.
That's what I've given you.
Mariam.
Yes.
And you too.
Oh, yes. I'm
She's
committed
good.
to
She's
that.
put us on the spot on
Yes.
air.
Well, your listeners
Yes,
love you,
yes,
and they know that
yes.
you're people of
Yes,
your word.
yes.
Yes.
So we are going to look for a date in February
Sharp.
where we can do this.
Sharp.
And then going forward,
Right.
we also look for opportunities to train. And so that we get as many people speaking the truth, so that even the lies, as they're trying to navigate the world, they're met bang on with truths. And the truth is, women are dying unnecessarily.
I love
We
that.
need to stop that.
Look, but we don't just talk for the sake of talking,
No.
right? And everything, I believe everything happens for a reason. And personally, I'm looking for a lot of legacy projects.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Awesome. We shall utilize that.
Yes. So, Mariam, that aside,
Yes.
we from in terms of what policymakers, Benda has spoken about what they have done and or done and not done. Mm-hmm. We are talking about as parents. We know what we need to do in terms of like our young girls from the age of 10 to 14.
Yes.
Then obviously young women are listening. So, because ironically that age of 35 is when you stop being a youth.
Yes.
And then we know what you got to do at the age of 45. Do you think that will change that perception from what Benda said, sitting now in those caucus groups? Like there you are on the Friday night, you're sitting with the girls and, you talk, those demystifying. Has she demystified the myths?
Yeah, she has.
All right.
She has.
Right.
That was very helpful. I mean, it makes
Thank
the
you.
conversation easier when you're sitting with the girls.
Thank you.
And you've given me a very good approach, because very many people are scared of going for the test because they don't want to see the results, But the vaccination issue is very big. It needs to, that's something that they need, because I know many people don't know about the vaccination.
No.
Actually, very many women don't know about that.
No.
So that for me is good, and it's something that you can share very easily, that they know that it's a preventive. There's something
Yes.
preventive about it. Huh?
Yes.
So yeah,
And,
that
and the
really
other
helps.
thing, even on screening, and this is my invitation to you,
Mm-hmm.
in those spaces that you have many audiences that you may not be able to speak to them about it,
Yes.
we have trained advocates and we've put them on their toes to go and speak about it. So if you're shy to talk about vulvas and vaginas and all the words that start with these, and you're afraid to talk about it, we can make ourselves available. We're not shy to talk about it. And secondly, we're not shy to demonstrate. Okay? True story, and this is not related to cervical cancer, but this is related to cervical cancer in the sense that I have survivors who have been trained, breast cancer survivors and different types of cancer survivors, trained on cervical cancer elimination. Last year in September, we sent a team to Marsabit County, where we have a project that we're running on vaccination. And we sent a team there. 2 of them were survivors, 2 of them were programmatic people from my organization, and they were working with the county government. And at that point, when they went to talk to other community health promoters, and they said, I am a survivor. And one of the women said, no, we've never seen a survivor in this county. How can you possibly say you survived cancer?
What?
She had to remove her breast prosthetic to show that she's a one-breasted woman The other one is a prosthetic that they've knitted and they've put on, so that she can demonstrate that indeed cancer is survivable. And that made the conversation so much easier. About now, let's have about a conversation about cervical, which not only is survivable, but is 100% preventable with a vaccine.
Wow.
Are you getting that?
Yes.
So in those spaces, Mariam, where you're not able to have the conversation yourself, we've got the people with lived experiences that have dedicated their lives, as you say, legacy projects. They've dedicated their lives to giving awareness and education so that women stop dying unnecessarily. Men get bold enough to talk about these things, and our girls get protected. We are happy to serve.
If I may, from the women who've been diagnosed with cervical cancer.
Yes.
Are most of them in the rural areas or urban areas?
We haven't done that study.
Okay.
And it's an interesting question you ask. But I would say any woman anywhere is at risk. And so it's not a gender, it's not a geographical correlation. Yes, women living in more HIV endemic regions would have more incidences of cervical cancer. And that's where also donors spend a lot of money and a lot of time trying to get these women. But women in Turkana, Marsabit, and other places, they're at risk too. Women in Nairobi, living in urban low-income households, living in high-income households, women everywhere. As long as you're a woman, or as long as you have a cervix, even for the ones who don't want to identify as women, if you have a cervix, you're at risk.
Penda, it's 2 days to the end of the moon. But I look, you said it, this is a 365-day thing. So.
Yep.
But in terms of the month of January, is there, so there's somebody who's listening to you right now?
Yes.
And let's break it down. We've spoken about Nanisha. We're not going to talk about it again.
No, we won't.
But it's that one of listen, money is a problem, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there something that we spoke about policymakers? Is there something that they're doing so that it makes it easier for me to go for a test? Yani, are there camps, clinics?
Are we talking about free clinics?
Thank you.
Free screenings, yes.
But I just didn't want to use the word free. I wanted it to come out of Benda's mouth. Because, we don't want her to commit to something.
Now, in Embu County, on Tuesday, my team, together with other partners, launched a campaign to screen women at no cost.
Right.
And I have to give a shout out to the Embu County government, because they've been very supportive. We've run a program for 2 years now in Bere North, which is one of the marginalized regions. And right now in Ishera Level 5 Hospital and a few other screening points across Embu County, it's happening at no cost. For other counties, there are quite a number. Nyandarua, for example, is also screening. Nakuru is also screening through efforts of the government.
You see now, and you said it, and I thought at that particular point, Benda was being sexist. But one thing that Embu County and Nakuru County have in common?
A lady governor.
They're lady governors.
Yes. And I can tell you, the G7 are a powerful team. But I don't want to dismiss the men governors.
Sharp.
The reason being, in our work, remember I've been in this field for a while and I'm losing my voice. Maybe it's time to shut up.
No, we're about to release you. Yeah.
I'm saying in our work, we've seen quite a number of governors in the COG, Council of Governors, come forward and say, yes, we will do something. But as I've said, we need to stop talking and start doing.
I like that.
What I love about the governors that I've mentioned is that they've taken charge and they are doing something. Okay?
Yeah.
What stops the other governors from doing something? What stops the women MPs from doing something?
Yes.
What stops the MCAs in all the counties? There are enough women in leadership. So it's not a woman in leadership issue. It's an enabling environment across board for all of us to action. So my call to action to the governors, 2027 is coming. And everybody keeps saying we're getting ready for 2027. I'll tell you, and I pray God keeps me long enough in this world to change the dialogue from women being given a loaf of bread to vote, to women being given their health back to give their vote. Women are 50% of the population in this country. It's time we started voting on issues. So, as I said, I'm a health advocate. And my role is to ensure that this civic education is not just about talk, it's about action. It's about issues that are correlated with what we promise our people. You promise, you deliver. If you don't, we'll vote you out. Oh, this is not a political Larry.
Everything is politics.
You've got to love the way she speaks. Now, Benda, we talk about people in leadership.
Yes.
And, it's stop talking, start doing. There's somebody who's in leadership and they want to do something.
Yes.
How does one get in touch with either, the organization,
Kilele
Health, or the executive director, Benda Kithaka? And because, obviously it is everything. Unfortunately, maybe mtu anataka kudonate kitu.
Absolutely. Tunachukuanga hizo alafu tunazipeleka kwa community.
Bas.
Hiyo hatukatai.
Hapo mtu anaongea na wewe aje.
So I would say first visit our website, kilelehealth.org. Okay? Kilele, K-I-L-E-L-E, health, HEALTH.org. Kilelehealth.org.
Yeah.
Email kilele@kilelehealth.org. Okay?
Can you repeat that again, please, Ben?
So website, kilelehealth.org, www.kilelehealth.org.
Yes.
Or email kilele@kilelehealth.org.
Good one.
That comes directly.
Right.
Follow us on social media. It's very easy. Kilele Health KE, meaning Kilele Health Kenya.
Yes.
Because one thing I didn't tell you is that my organization is working with 16 other countries in Africa. Yes. And we're working with 22 other organizations such as Kilele across Africa for cervical health to be instituted in countries and for cervical cancer to be eliminated. Guess what? There is a website too.
Yeah.
www.acha.org.africa.
Right.
acha.africa.
Yes.
And why I say this is because brands, I worked in corporate Kenya before I came into this. Brands are constantly looking for legacy projects and things that they can do.
Yes.
If you're a bank and you're working in 16 countries in Africa, or you're working across Africa, telecommunications companies, everybody, you're manufacturing, you're selling, most of your products are being consumed by women.
Yes.
It's time we started campaigns that reach the target population that are already your consumers. And we are happy to take you to these countries. And I would be very happy to be able to work on campaigns that are far-reaching as opposed to just talking about it. So, Kwach, we'll put you to good use. Thank you.
And maybe a word to the ladies. You are right when you said that very many women refuse to go for these tests. Even my friends, by the way, because they're very invasive. What's your word to them, really?
So, Mariam, you're wearing heels.
Yes.
How uncomfortable are heels?
They can get uncomfortable every now and then.
Not every now and then. I can tell you how I work. I wear heels, I go to work. In the evening at the gate, I'm checking them. I'm walking barefoot into my house. And I don't know about other women, but I know most often that's what we do. Or we have an extra pair of shoes that we keep in the bag so that we can wear them when nobody's watching. Because, we've got to look good,
Yes.
But comfort also comes in. The discomfort of a SPAP test is a 15 minutes affair in the doctor's office. And that 15 minutes is from when you get in to when you get evaluated to when you get to change, when you lie on the couch, when you get the sample taken, when you get out and go home. But it's a life-saving test. There is HPV testing. It's a swab. It's actually something you can pick from the pharmacy or from the laboratories, go into the bathroom, insert swirl times 5, get out, give it back in, and go home. No discomfort in it, other than the thought that you are the one doing it for yourself. So when we say women are uncomfortable, I keep saying, get away from the excuses and do something. This is a life-changing conversation we're having. So if it's uncomfortable, yes, Kwach, now you take your spouse, she goes for the 15 minutes, take her for a cup of coffee after that. The discomfort will be forgotten, but there will be a life-saving conversation being done right there.
It's interesting, you said earlier that HPV test is more expensive than the pap smear.
Yes.
So is it okay to skip the HPV and go for the pap?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, beautiful.
Because again, the HPV test is a relatively new test, but pap smears have been around since 1940. Papa Nicolau, the one who invented the pap smear, has been around. Countries like Germany and other countries across the world have used pap tests since the 70s. They are closer to elimination of cervical cancer than we are. Why? Because every year they have constantly reminded women who are eligible, go get screened. They follow them up. What are we doing in Africa? We're leading the world with incidence of cervical cancer. It's time we started having uncomfortable conversations. It's time we started having discomfort at that couch, but make sure that we are fine. Mark, you, last week I wrote a Facebook post, and this week I went for my test, because we have to lead from the front. Let's do these things.
Hey, this woman speaks.
Yeah.
What? I want to makofi hapo kwake, by the way. So Benda, we ingia the month of love, and we've said from my lips to your ears that we will have a survivor here within the next couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing that we will think through is a campaign.
Indeed.
That can be for the full year. And because you're champion number one,
yes,
Mariam is champion number one on the other side of the ladies. This is not a win-lose.
Yes.
It's a win-win.
I like that.
And I am champion in the background,
Buzz,
helping us with information to move things forward.
And I'll invite you to the spaces to speak to the ladies.
Indeed. Please, absolutely. Let's do this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Breaking the grip of cervical cancer. It's a 365-day.
And breaking the grip is taking charge.
Indeed. Indeed.
Let's not beat around the bush. Let's take charge.
And I like what she's doing, man. It's not just about talking the walk. Let's do the do. Not only here in Kenya, but in 16 other jurisdictions.
Yep.
You've got to love her energy, man. The enthusiasm and the passion.
The passion
that she has for the project. You. She's a health advocacy specialist. She is the executive director of Kilele Health. Benda Kithaka.
And also follow me on social media.
But,
of course.
Sema yo.
Nilikuwa shy.
What are you?
Benda Kithaka.
You just Benda
Kithaka. Please don't put an R. I have an RL problem. So Benda Kithaka.
Benda
Kithaka.
All this time I've been saying Benda, you're hearing Brenda.
I've been saying Brenda.
Hey, Wairemo.
It's Benda.
To unleash your creativity and dive into the dynamic world of media, then listen up. At Standard Talanta Academy, a collaboration between Talanta Institute and Standard Group, we are redefining the rules of the game. With our media mastery course, you'll